Alright, and give it a second, but we should be good, I hope. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another live stream here on the channel. Very excited for today's. Originally, this was going to be a video. I really wanted to do this video, but I thought that doing this as a live stream would probably be a bit easier. Today, to celebrate the end of the year, I'm just going to sort of be casually going over my channel in 2022. I'm literally just on my videos page, and we're just going to scroll up, and that's kind of it. We're just going to casually be talking about what I made this year and how I feel about it. This may take a while, so I don't want to waste any time, so we are going to get started pretty soon. Sorry if this stream is a bit more like scripted and planned out than a lot of my past ones. The goal here was, again, originally this was, welcome Robin Tail Spider, welcome everyone joining. Originally the plan here was to have this be a full video, so it is sort of it's going to be sort of a bit more planned than my typical live streams. I know it's just a minute in, but again, it's just gonna be me casually talking about everything I posted to my channel this year. So I think I'm just gonna get started right now to not waste any time. 2022 was a very good year for my channel, I think. Looking at my statistics, it turns out this year was the best year for my channel ever. My channel was doing really well in 2018, then it just progressively dipped down in 2019 and 2020. In 2021, it went back up thanks to things like Tie Scars 4, me doing these live streams, communicating with my community better, and getting comments back on my videos. This year took everything I did in 2021 and amplified it, and my channel grew more than it's ever grown before. I've had more total views this year, more new subscribers, etc. than any past year on my channel, and I think that's all safely because of the iceberg videos. I think that's kind of obvious. Sorry, that is the main reason. It's the main reason why. And I assume Cars on the Road also has something to do with that, you know, there being a new piece of Cars stuff. Yeah, that's good, Rashid. Hopefully, yeah. See, every year being a YouTube channel is a learning experience. I feel like people, YouTubers are never fully happy with what they're doing, you know, if that makes sense. You know, if you've stopped improving your craft, then maybe you've stopped enjoying your craft. Now for me personally, I haven't really spoken about this in videos. I have before, but late 2021 and early 2022 it was a really difficult time for me just in my personal life, which unfortunately sometimes reflected in my videos or in my upload schedule, especially with Cars Adventures, which unfortunately who would I get to voice Kara Crashwell in a hypothetical casting? That's a very good question. Kara Crashwell was the HTB racer I created for Cars 4. I may have to come back to you on that. That's a very good question. I didn't really think about that. As I was saying, mid to late 2021, early 2022 was a difficult time for me. And unfortunately, sometimes that showed itself in my work and in my upload schedule, especially with I just lost my train of thought. Hold on. Especially with Cars Adventures, you could tell this year the upload schedule was awful for Cars Adventures, and with Lap 3 coming out soon, that's something I really want to fix. That's the last time I'll talk about the awful upload schedule of Cars Adventures. I know it sucked this year, and I am sorry. That's the last time I'm going to bring it up. Okay. So, I ended last year with my thoughts on every release in 2021. I want to do the same for 2022. I'll probably do it tomorrow, but I also want to do a top 10 list of my favorite 10 diecasts from 2022. But I don't want to do that until I get Greebles. Greebles is one of the only 2022 new releases I'm missing out of anything this year. Yeah, it wasn't the best year for the diecast. Oh, 2021, yeah, it wasn't the best year for the diecasts. I thought you were talking about this year, which also wasn't really the best year. But my thoughts on the diecasts coming out for 2022. I'm going to save that for a future video. This is just what I did this year. I'll be talking about the diecast in a future My Thoughts, and which will probably come out tomorrow, and then I'll also be doing a top 10 list, maybe a top 5 worst. Anyway, I want to say the first video I did this year was the Racing Red McQueen review. Of course, we start off with a lot of the 2021 Christmas haul being reviewed, which took about a month, which is pretty standard. Unfortunately, the first week of 2022 was not very good because I got COVID on New Year's Day. So that wasn't the best. So I was just kind of hanging out in my room all week. And I remember thinking, because there was one point where I decided to do this and this video, these two videos, after I took a few days off, because I never had any symptoms past the first day. In hindsight, I remember thinking by the end of the week I was in quarantine, I remember thinking, like, man, I could have done a lot of great big videos this week, but I didn't until the end when I introduced insanely weird Cars knockoff toys. You could see got 10,000 views on that. This year, my channel views continue to be, again, better than ever. Most of my reviews ended up with at least 1,000 views, which is crazy compared to some past performance. It was a really, really good year for my views, and I have not watched Wednesday. I've never actually watched like a full version of the Addams Family. I've heard good things, mainly from kids on TikTok talking about that dance scene, but I haven't watched it. I'm glad that it's good though. Yeah, very good year for views on my channel. I'm gonna get that out of the way first too, so that I'm not going like, oh, this video did really well. I just want to talk about how I feel about them, not how they turned out. Well, Robin, the live streams, it's how many people are tuning in. The live streams, the VODs later on, we could check the live streams tab that YouTube has now. Those always tend to do pretty well. Alright, so I started Weird Knockoffs. Weird Knockoffs was the 20th episode of Weird Products. I wanted to do something special, and I continued Weird Knockoffs throughout the year after this one did really well. The thing with Weird Knockoffs is I know a lot of people really like it, but honestly, to me, it's not the most fun. It's not the most fun for me personally doing Weird Knockoffs. I prefer regular Weird Products. I feel like Weird Knockoffs gets a little old and repetitive sometimes. I want to do a 4th episode. It's been several months, but yeah. Then we have the story of Julia, Cars 2's original Holly Shiftwell. The story of I wanted to fully bring back this year. Unfortunately, I only ever ended up doing this one video. But yeah, I like this one. It was supposed to lead into a separate video on Zill. I was going to do a revised episode of Zill. Yeah, Sense of Red Alliance jokes did come from this stream. I was going to do a revised episode on Zill. I was going to ask Robin for help with it. It was going to be like a collab video, and then that just sort of fell through. The problem with the story of and Have You Heard of this year, I really wanted to do them, but they became difficult to make because I felt like I was repeating things I was saying in the Iceberg videos. Then we have a 2022 channel update. I don't know what happened. I don't know what I talked about. There was no Errors and Inconsistencies 2-parter. That was supposed to happen at one point. That didn't happen. Errors and Inconsistencies was a pretty good year for it. Just more of the same with Errors. No changes really. Still working on part 20. That should hopefully be out soon. I got more reviews from the Christmas haul. The end of Cars Adventures. Lap 2 Season 13. With this episode all about an announcement of a Cars Adventures movie, which fell through. I did a whole big community post on that. That just didn't work out, and that became Lap 2 Season 15. Because I didn't like the plot, and I wanted something more in line with the style of Cars Adventures, so to this day there's still no Cars Adventures movie. Valley V8, Color Changer's intro hormone wasn't part of the Christmas haul, but I picked him up around then. More Christmas haul, that's in every single car. I tried to bring back the diecast awards I did. It fell through. This was the first new item I bought in 2022. Here we have McQueen in the new car, an insane Disney car story I wrote as a kid. This video, I wish, it has 1,500 views, which is good for me, but I wish it had done better, and I know a lot of, like, my frequent viewers know this and reference it and joke about it a lot, because, like, this is iconic, okay? I love this. This was a video I just wanted to do on a whim, and I thought it'd be so funny. I am working on a die-cast remake of it, which is going to be a subscriber special. I'll get it out at some point soon. I think it's a really funny video idea. Remaking this awful book I wrote. So yeah. Errors and Inconsistencies 14 was, I believe, the first episode of the year. More Christmas hauls. Picked up the NASCAR Through the Years 5-pack so I could use that cruise in Cars Adventures. Cars Randomness 13. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do another Cars Randomness this year. It was a goal of mine, and I know a lot of people wanted one, but the problem with Cars Randomness is I just couldn't really think of ideas for it, but I want to do it very soon, and I honestly feel really bad that I wasn't able to do a second one this year. There's just number 13 in January. I want to do more, and I'm honestly sorry that it just never worked out this year, which was unfortunate. Cars Adventures Lap 2 took like 4 months to complete. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. But I do really like this season in hindsight. It's just my opinions on it are permanently muddled by its troubled production history. The NASCAR racers, then... Yeah, we're into February now. Not many uploads in January. There are a lot, but like not my typical daily uploads because I had COVID for a week. Weird Products Gaming Edition took a few days off here before releasing The Iceberg. 196,000 views currently. Again, really shot up my channel this year, and I'm very proud of it, which is nice because for years my most popular videos are ones I really didn't like, and The Iceberg is one of my favorite videos I've ever made. We have the Weird Products Gaming Edition. This year was great for Weird Products. This year, I think before this year, I'd say Errors and Inconsistencies is my most popular series. Now I'd say easily, not counting the icebergs, not counting the icebergs, I think Weird Products is my most popular series. Which, yeah. Love the Gaming Edition. I love all the Weird Products I did this year, and I can't wait to keep doing them next year. Return to the Piston Cup. It's Mooey the Racing Tractor. I think probably one of the funniest Cars Adventures characters introduced this year. I think the comedy in Cars Adventures in 2022 was incredibly solid. I think it's some of the best comedy I've ever done. Was this year in Cars Adventures. More Christmas haul stuff. I like how early on in the season I introduced, I think early on, I like how early on in the season I introduced the Rod and Aiden stuff. I was no longer beating around the bush. We were fully into the plot. I think this was the only... Go on, Mooey! I'm so proud of you! Yeah, not much, Marcus Lafredo. We're just going through my uploads this year. I'm just sort of talking about them. I really like this one. I was surprised that it did so well, but would I rather have Return on the Road, Chick or Storm? Depends on the story. Depends on the story. I think they both ended up at like very different places by the end of their respective roles. I love this video. I like doing discussion videos. I think this was the only one I did this year, I think, and I really liked my conspiracy theory on Chester Whipplefilter, and it did pretty well. I'm very proud of it. I love this tuner plotline, okay? I like this Cars Adventures thumbnail. I love this tuner plotline. I'm not going to react to any of the videos, at least not here. Love the tuners being framed plotline. I think it was really good. And then we have For You I Would. This is the Valentine's Day special from this year. And let me tell you, this might be my all-time favorite Cars Adventures episode. Like, literally, I think it's the funniest the series has ever been. If you don't watch Cars Adventures, you don't need to be concerned about, like, plot weighing this one down. Okay? This is one of the funniest episodes in the entire series, I think. It's been a running joke for several years that Fillmore has been going out with Chris Yarostovsky. She, of course, is the flag waver in the Piston Cup in Cars 3. And I did a whole Valentine's Day special where Fillmore tries to break into the racing garage to see her because she's doing like mandatory emergency training. He tries all these different tactics. I love it. It contains the Piston Cup security, which are easily some of my favorite characters in the entire Cars Adventure series. I love them. I love the Piston Cup security. No matter what they're doing, they're always so fun to play and include. They're not frequently appearing characters, but whenever they do, I think they're the highlights of their episodes. I like the one season where they became a Beatles cover band for some reason. So yeah, I love this one. One of my favorite episodes. It also introduces one of the best characters in the series, Empty Les. At this point, I found some of the new NASCAR racers. Very nice, because I was a little behind on those. This took 2 weeks to make. I'm sorry. I said I wouldn't talk about that anymore. Every single doc. Still using the boring old style of thumbnail. I'm sorry. Then we had two. We have two birthday requests back to back. Both Cars 3 stock cars. Little Turkey Pistons review. I got him for the first time this year. Junior still got it. I like this episode. Yeah, poor Sergeant Keel, man. Poor Sergeant Keel. NASCAR Bubble Wheelhouse. Love this car. When I do my top 10 list, don't be surprised if he's not there. I like the title, Don't Trust the Tuners. I don't think the episode was as good as that title. Ranking the worst cars. Ranking the worst cars Diecast ever made as chosen by my viewers did very well. That's 9,800 views. I love this video. It's another one I really like that I think is really fun and really funny. I like doing some videos. Yeah, it's not showing any video. We did start the Discord server around this point this year. Thank you, Robin. Yes, I do have a Discord server. I saw someone ask. I don't usually post the link, but I'll put it up somewhere soon so you can find it, because I've gotten several people asking me to join. Ranking the worst cars Diecast ever made is chosen by my viewers. Like I said, I love this video. 9,800 views. Not too bad. Thank you very much, because I love this video. It's 46 minutes of me just rambling, sort of, and I really like it. Cars Adventures is about cars on adventures. Cars Adventures will be returning in about 10 days, and it's a very good time to start watching Cars Adventures. You'll see very soon. Okay, Miles Axelrod with microphone. Great to see him back again. I'm not talking about the diecast that came out this year. We'll save those for another video. Back to basics. I think that's a reference to a Fergie album. I think that's what that name was after. Or was it Gwen Stefani? I have not seen Inside of Mind's new Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared theory. I have not. I saw it was posted, though. I was the first person to find Revy Routing Bush, or at least I think to review it. I wouldn't say it's the biggest fan-made Cars series. I guess it. Thank you, Robin, for doing free advertising for me. I think I was the first person to review Rowdy Revving Bush. I was very shocked to see him. Let's see. Christina Aguilera. Is it? I think you're right. I think it is Christina Aguilera. Then we already had a second Weird Knockoffs. I love this thumbnail. Late entry. I also love this thumbnail. This is one of my favorite episodes. How I roped in how I roped in Eric Almiroling into the series. So I got halfway through shooting the season. Real racing. I like being able to do the Piston Cup again. Return to the real world. This thumbnail, yikes! I thought it was better. I really like this episode. You could see I've now watched the original Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared too. Don't worry, it's all good. One thing I did with Cars Adventures this year, you could see later on, Real Racing, the episode title was based off of Doc saying, like, racing, real racing, in the flashback in Cars 3. One thing I did in Lap 2 Season 14 was I tried to be less restrictive with episode lengths, and that's something you'll see when I start Lap 3 in a few weeks, or I guess a few days now. You're gonna see some episodes with more varied episode lengths. and sorry, and stuff like that. Of course, later on this year, the next Cars Adventure season was a what, 10 episode, 10, 15, 10 episode series with longer episodes because it was originally the Cars Adventures movie and I split it up into parts. I really love that season, but we're going back to this format for Cars Adventures in 2023, just with a revised upload schedule of every other day instead of every day. 2022 Otis, Andy Vaporlock. Let me zoom back out. Then we get to April already. Again, pretty spotty. Yes, there is Cars Adventures. First time it wasn't in the middle of the season. First time it was in the middle of the season and not at the beginning. Then we have my Piston Cup Racer tier list. One of my favorite videos of all time. I was very proud of the ranking list here. I know a lot of people found where I put Krusty Rotor to be really controversial, but still, I thought it was pretty good. Every single car, lightning round 4. And I like doing the lightning round episodes of every single car. I don't talk about every single car much, but it is a series I really enjoy doing, and the views vary from episode to episode. Storm Warning, another favorite title of mine, and again, the rematch. Te Remech is another great one. This 3-pack is boring. Lightning's Plight. Evidence Search did shockingly well. Then the episode after it also did shockingly well, both with over 3,000 views, which is crazy for Cars Adventures. I don't know what happened for those 2 days, but I guess something did. And then we did Errors and Inconsistencies 15. You can see at this point, we finally got consistent, or I finally got consistent with Cars Adventures uploads again, finally, which is good. We had Errors and Inconsistencies 15. Yes, that is Robin. And then I took a break. Took a break after I ended season 14. I took my spring break off from YouTube for the first time in many years. Because I just thought I needed a break from YouTube for a bit. Well, it is a real ranking of Piston Cup Racers. What are you talking about? In the week I was gone, we got our first new information on the road. So I did my first on the road update, which is sort of a sub-series of Welcome Cars Ignite. Good to see you. Sort of a sub-series of Cars Adventures. Cars Adventures, oh my gosh, of my thoughts, sorry. It's probably either Red or 1989. That's the ones I've heard the most. You'd have to ask my sister. She knows better than me. Okay, so when I got back from my break, I took a graphic design class as one of my last electives in high school, and it was at that point that I realized, wow, my thumbnail game sucks. These are terrible. So I tried to spruce it up with new colors, new styles, and I really like the new thumbnail style I created for the My Thoughts and On the Road videos, and for every single car. Weird Products got an overhaul, and eventually Errors and Inconsistencies also got a design overhaul. This was a birthday request for Kevin Racing Tire. Shout out to the fact that he's hanging off the edge of the racing center, or the racing garage, as a reference to me accidentally dropping him on stream once. Then it was my birthday. Remember how earlier on I said I wasn't in the best place earlier on in the year and it affected my work? You'll see my videos become there are a lot more videos as the year goes on. And Chris Revstopski I got for Christmas, and I just never reviewed her until after my birthday, which is May 2nd. I think I've answered this question before, but I'd rather have more seasons of On the Road because it's kind of insignificant in the grand scheme of things. It's just like fun little stories. I don't think we need a Cars 4 personally. You can see we continue with the new style of every single car. Of every single car. Got the birthday haul, so now we get into the birthday haul reviews. I really like this thumbnail. This one I went kind of above and beyond. Weird backpacks, I love. I like this one. This is just my bed, but it looks like snow. You might be wondering, Ty, why is this your sink? Well, as you can see in the very, very, very background of the big fan thumbnail, there is Diver Mater about to jump in. Easy. Season 2 doesn't need to end with them going to Radiator Springs. They could just, like, there doesn't need in future seasons of On the Road, they end the show in a way where it's like McQueen's like, yeah, let's take our time going back. Wow. Um and they want to take their time going back, so you don't need that overarching storyline anymore. You can just have them go from place to place. But yes, that's Diver Mater. I didn't even remember he was there. Okay, I love this one. Personal favorite. Carsonet, you just missed it. It was For You I Would. That was the Valentine's Day special. It's one of my favorite episodes of the entire series. You joined like right after I talked about that. Taking a look at a Cars magazine from 2012 is one of my other favorite videos in the same style as that Cars Cars book I wrote when I was little. I have other videos like that I want to do. Just sort of me casually talking about it. I like doing longer videos where I could just sort of talk about stuff like this live stream. Jan Kowalski review. Shout out to my neighbor's house in the background. Jan Kowalski is sitting on a clear Lego piece. Of course, one of my goals this year was to get some new Planes items, which I did. Shout out to my mom for finding them. Yes, that is the episode with Empty Les. Yeah, I know. I hate my thumbnails too, and I don't know how to change it. Once upon a time, I think because I just take them with my phone. That's the problem. In freshman year of high school, my photography teacher made me like change the aspect ratio of my photos. So that's why. But you know what? It's in 4:3, like the Snyder cut of the Justice League movie, and that was like his creative decision. So my creative decision is do it in 4:3. I reviewed Flick, and this review did shockingly well. It was a birthday request. Favorite Disney or Pixar film or franchise? Coco, I think, is the best Pixar movie. I, I I like Toy Story also, and everyone likes Toy Story, right? But I think the best Pixar movie, if you were to ask me, I'd say Coco. Um, Continuing with that new thumbnail style, more birthday haul cars. We've got Cars Adventures recap. Very proud of this one. The other recap I did was a pain to edit. This one was much easier. And then of course we get into lap 2, season 15 with and longer episode lengths and less episodes in the season. I really love this unified thumbnail style. I really, really like how that turned out. And you could see the upload schedule became really, really spotty for that, like I already said. This is Robin's collection video. Thank you, Robin, for letting me post my, thank you for letting me post your collection video. Then we did a regular non-on-the-road My Thoughts. This is my 5,000 subscriber special, which is definitely not just me dancing to I'm Han Solo from Connect Star Wars. Totally not. What are you talking about? This is a new item I bought. Welcome to Radiator Springs, Sally. Multiverse of Madness. I love that title. Revelations is a pretty good one. Then I brought back Way Back Wednesday, and nobody cared, and barely anybody watched it. Then I decided to do a Q&A, and it fell through as per usual. It was at this point, I've just realized... yeah, I'm sorry, most of them got canceled, you're right. Yeah, I liked doing Robin's collection. I, all year, wanted to do a collection video of my own, but I have to build a new shelf, and I'm trying to get that done in the next month so I could finally do it. Yeah. Definitely spoken about that several times at this point. At this point, I had graduated high school, and I was on summer vacation. I don't know what the last video I did was. Probably one of these. But this was July 1st, I remember. And I finished school, I want to say June 9th was the day I graduated, which doesn't really line up. At one point here, I graduated. The end. I actually don't watch the Card Shifter stuff, but it's very impressive from what I've seen. Like, I'm not like a frequent viewer of his, but his stuff is very, very, very well made. Puts my stuff to shame. Yeah, Way Back Wednesday came back. I was off of school at this point. I graduated high school at this point. I was feeling a lot better about myself. Hydro Nigel or Stunt Raoul. I did Stunt Racers Raoul for 25 suggestions, I think in 2020, and I don't remember about Nigel. at this point I was feeling, like I said, a lot better about myself, and I was just doing better in general. And with the collection video, Robin, yeah, still working on it. So I was doing better here. Ramon Green began in this Errors and Inconsistencies, which of course was the first one to use the new thumbnail style for that. Way Back Wednesday continued. Then I ran out of ideas. Then I gave in to making YouTube Shorts, which I can't show you because they're on a different tab now. But I was kind of lost here. I had so much free time, I didn't really know what to do. We're into July now. So I asked people for what they'd like to see more of. Then we did this. This is proof that you could connect anyone to the Cars series. This is one of my favorite videos of all time, probably in the top 5. And since it wasn't that connected to Cars, it didn't do well. But I don't care what anyone says. I'm making a sequel. Thank you. Okay, I love this video so much. I think it's one of the funniest things that I've ever done, and I really, really like it. And I got to make a lot of jokes, and I got to joke about Will Smith and Nick Cage and Kanye West and Friends. And Morbius, did I say that already? I really like that. Around this time, and I will be making a sequel, you can't stop me. Around this time, I stopped by a collectible shop, which for the first time ever was a comic shop I went to that sold cars. Yeah, putting shorts on a different tab was honestly a good idea for them. Of course, actually, let me, I will discuss, I will discuss this video after I talk about shorts, because I started here with my series, A Quick Look, where my goal was to do a brief YouTube short discussing every single car I own in order of how I display them. And I made maybe 20, 30. I did a lot over the summer, and then I did 1 or 2 a few months ago. The good thing with them is I could knock them out. I could do like 5 in one sitting. And I don't really know how I feel about them. I really don't like YouTube Shorts as a thing. Just saying. But, like, I'm not a fan of it, just as a thing YouTube's doing. But it is a series. A Quick Look is a series I will continue. It's just difficult to balance it out with my regular uploads, but it is something I would still like to do and keep doing. I'll probably never do every car in my collection, but I still like doing it. Went to a collectible shop around that time, and I picked up a Mater, an original Mater, in the box that they had, which was pretty cool. New weird knockoff. This was the No Context collection made by the Piston 11. I really like this one, a follow-up to the one Rashid Reviews made in 2021, and I'm working on editing together a third one that was also made by Rashid Reviews. He made a third and fourth one for me. I wasn't really a big fan of his third one that he made, so he then did a fourth one in addition to that, and I said, you know what, I'm going to combine my favorite stuff from the third one and most of the fourth one and make a full video. So that'll come out at some point soon. I meant to do that this month, but I was so busy with 25 days of suggestions. Pick Remember Mac, more Way Back Wednesday. Nobody talked about the fact that I brought back Way Back Wednesday, and it made me sad. But then I did the Superfly 3-pack, and then I got more 3-packs, and I didn't do every single car. Then for these, like, 2 days, okay? Like, right when I woke up to new On the Road playsets. The next day I woke up to new color changers with new characters. And then, like, the day after, a ton of stuff was revealed at Comic-Con. I was going to do a whole video on the color changers being revealed. I fully recorded it. Then more stuff was revealed at Comic-Con. So I did a 25-minute video and almost lost my voice recording it. That was a mess. But it was fine. I like the title of Comic-Con Cruz Ramirez Color Changers Clowns. I think that was pretty good. Then we did this. This is another favorite video of mine. This was 5 cars diecasts I always forget I own. I really like this one. This was before Clown Pity Robin, or no, actually it was after this leaked. Yes, Clown Pity also happened this year. It was a diecast that I was really excited for, and I think it's just really funny. Um, Cars I forgot I own. I really like. Um, I really liked the top 5 and top 10 lists. I started doing it around this point of the year, and I'd really like to make more. It's just kind of difficult to do them sometimes, but I do have a new top 10 list I'm working on for my top 10 favorite cars released this year, and then I'd like to do a sequel to these shockingly expensive cars. I've got a lot of top 10 lists I want to do, which is kind of difficult. I get like really in my own head when I'm making one of like, you're doing the top 10, it needs to be definitive, but like, no. The way to combat that is just not do them in order, not rank it. The top 10 cars of 2022 will be ranked though. It was at this point that I found a Miles Axelrod in Target with no eyes or windows, and I thought that was pretty cool. That was insane to find in stores, and I had to pick it up, and I still keep it packaged, hanging up on my wall. Shockingly cheap cars. That's honestly not a bad idea. There are some I'm kind of surprised aren't expensive. Yeah, I could totally do that. Maybe it's a good idea. Um, it was at this point I introduced the Thai favorite contest, which also fell through. But I am incredibly appreciative. No, I'm never opening that Miles X out. I'm incredibly appreciative of everybody submitting their videos talking about what they like about my channel. That was really heartwarming to watch. I unfortunately was never able to finish the video on that, but I did do my other 5-year special. Cars on the Road trailer breakdown, that's 10,000, did very well, and I really like how it turned out, and I was right on most of the things I predicted. Tried to save Way Back Wednesday by changing the thumbnail, then it went away, and the final 50 came in. Also started finding On the Road merchandise. The final 50, much like Way Back Wednesday before it, is a series that really struggled, and I think part of the reason why is because, like, I just simply think, I think it may come off as a bit confusing, and also, like, if you look at my 25 days of suggestions, being a review channel has its ups and downs when it comes to the views on your reviews that you're posting. It all depends on the item. I'm often shocked with how well a review on a certain older item does, or how poorly a review on a certain older item does. I always think I have a pretty good gauge on how well the reviews will do, and they are barely ever done. They're barely ever what I expect them to be. Final 50 was a series. Years ago, Robin made a list for me of every car in my collection I've never reviewed before, and that became the final 50. It was going to be a final 100, and I was going to review them all in a mega review. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to give them all their own time. I'm going to give them all their own review. Eventually, over the years, it was whittled down to 50, and I began the final 50. It's basically my backup series when I don't have other reviews to do. I kind of forgot about it, honestly. Much like 25 Days of Suggestions, it was I think it started at 97, so yeah, it was mainly last 90, then I whittled down to last 50. Much like 25 Days of Suggestions, it also uses a random name picker going off of a random list, and it will be continuing into 2023, obviously. The videos don't do that well, and it's not as exciting for me to do as 25 Days of Suggestions. Not many people comment on them, but still, I can't just leave the series hanging. It's called the Final 50. I gotta do all 50. But yeah, they're just, I don't know if, like, the Final 50 rating is a turnoff for people, if it makes them confused as to what the video is. They're just normal reviews. They're just part of a series. Same with Way Back Wednesday, though. Again, it all fluctuates. The views all fluctuate depending on what people want to see reviewed. And when it comes to the Final 50, it's a set list of cars I've never reviewed before. So I might not be reviewing things people want to see, but I'm reviewing cars that I've got to review, I think. 10 shockingly expensive cars. Love this list. We already talked about it. We've got color changers and on-the-road stuff. And I like this one. 10 cars diecasts that have surprisingly never been made. This did the best out of all the new list videos. and it was basically a sort of a new twist on Cars That Should Be Made, but it is one that I really like doing. I tried to film a sequel, but I just couldn't get it to work. Uh, yeah, customs aren't counted in Final 50. I like this thumbnail of Lightning being so excited and Jonathan Rentworth is just done with his life. I was on vacation at this point, by the way, when I released those two. Cars Adventures finally came back after like 3 months. Again, I'm sorry. Did the new Color Changers car wash playset. After my other Color Changers car wash playset became one of my most viewed videos of all time, I'm kind of surprised. No, actually, Rashid, I think I digitally removed the R. Oh no, it's still there. Man, I thought I photoshopped that out. I could have sworn I did. Sinkhole, I liked that one. Got some cool cars from a flea market. And then we get the Executioner, which I also really liked this episode. And then Weird Products Back to School Edition. Also really like this one. A really funny continuation of the Backpacks episode. Finally reviewed this pack. At this point I had started college. Then we have Disney Plus releasing all episodes of Cars on the Road at once, and why I'm not a fan of this episode. This video became immediately dated when the show came out, and we learned that the episodes were literally like 5 minutes. This one's outdated, but you know what? They can't all be winners. We have the 5 years on. Seven minutes plus credits. 5 years on YouTube montage. I like this one. This was made by the Piston 11, another collaboration I was very happy with. Errors and Inconsistencies came back. Now with some on the road entries. Road Repair McQueen and Long. I still love that I called him Long Hook Mater, because literally, what was I supposed to do? I was incredibly proud of myself to be able to get the second iceberg out in time the same day as Cars on the Road. I was very, very proud of that one. I got that all to work out. And yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. It was longer than the other one by 1 minute, but contained like 30 less entries, which confused me. But a lot of the entries in this one took a pretty long time to explain. Then we did my On the Road No Spoilers review. I never did a spoiler review because there wasn't really a need to. Colin Borev, really liked him. Wow, look, I was finally finding new items at this point. Now we have the top 5 most wanted cars diecast from every Cars on the Road episode, which is another one I really like doing. This turned out to be 42 minutes. Jeez. Yes, Robin did edit part of the Iceberg. Thank you, Robin. Iceberg 3 will be coming out in early 2023. It's going to be a very big video. Really liked doing this one. Towing Mater works too, yeah. It's probably a better name than Long Hook Mater, but that's what it is, because the regular Mater can still tow. You can't fool me, Mattel. Really liked this one. And it also did really well. It did better than most of my other On the Road videos, I believe. This Tolga review was a birthday request. When you see these randomly placed reviews that aren't new items, they're birthday requests. Yeah, everybody, On the Road in a Nutshell was a video I just had, like, on a whim. It was an idea I thought was really funny, and it turned out to be one of, I think, my funniest videos ever, and everyone really liked it. It's now one of my most viewed videos ever. For all the time and effort I put into Ty's Cars 4, this got like 13,000 more views than it. So, yeah, I am very proud of this video. I think it's one of the funniest things I've ever done in a video, honestly. I rewatch this video more often than I probably should. I think it's funny, and it's clear a lot of people enjoyed it, which I'm glad. We did my first and only On the Road episode breakdown, which of course was for the first episode, Dino Park, and while I really liked the final product of this, I just couldn't see myself going through and breaking down every other episode in the series. it just wasn't going to work out. I didn't really think. A lot of the episodes don't have much to do a full breakdown of. In hindsight, I should have broken them all down in one big video. Maybe I will do that eventually, but I think the time has sort of passed. I have more on the road content I want to do. Most of my on the road content from here on out is just updates on diecast coming out or diecast reviews, but I really want to do an episode ranking video, which I've wanted to do for a very long time. This is the worst item I've ever reviewed. One of the worst items I've reviewed. Don't at me. Keith Cone. Here was the errors and inconsistencies with the Rashid reviews. I like that at this point, errors and inconsistencies was back to its typical monthly schedule. Then Cars Adventures also came back here. As much as I love the Executioner episode, Cars Adventures, Lap 2, Season 15, Episode 9, Revolution here might be one of my all-time favorite series. All-time favorite episodes of the entire series. The amount of stuff I was able to put into this episode, I feel like this in itself is almost like... It's almost like a movie on its own, quite frankly. So yeah. Cars Randomness is coming back at some point. I talked about that already because I was in January. That was disappointing. Cars Sheep, I hope you know that adding someone on a live stream does nothing. I just see the little @ sign in your comment on my phone. It makes no difference. I know you're there. Yeah, I love Revolution. It's one of my favorite episodes in the entire series. A lot happens. I'm still impressed I was able to cram that much into it. At this point, I was like, you know what, forget it. I'm going to make this episode as long as it needs to be. I had a bunch of things I had to do, and I really like it. I like it even more than the Lap 2 finale. Redline the series. Yeah, basically. Nobody asks how is Cars Randomness. It's not okay. It's... Oh, I did say don't at me. Then why are you adding me? I've been added. Oh no. I feel attacked. Help, help. You know it. You love it. It's Weird Products Finn and Holly edition. Has my favorite video ending of all time. There it is. I finally changed my ugly several-year-old background. Very, very happy about this one. Then the Headlight Zone came back. The Headlight Zone has always kind of struggled on my channel. I do one a week. But let's talk about the Headlight Zone real quick, because I am incredibly proud of the Headlight Zone this year. It's, of course, my Twilight Zone parody I do throughout October. We are at the beginning of October now. And, in 2019, I started it. In 2020, I brought it back. They were both, like, short, like, 3 to 5 minute episodes, and they just kind of sucked. For this year, I brought it back, and I revitalized it. I made the episodes much closer to 10 minutes. I made them much closer to how the actual Twilight Zone show was formatted, because I actually wasn't that familiar with the show in 2019 and 2020, especially not as much as I am with it now. And I really, really like how it turned out. Do you really just ask Redline or Ties Cars 4? I will do anything I can to act like Redline was never made. Is Tractor Shorts ever returning? I don't know. But, yeah, Headlight Zone, just like I predicted in years past, it progressively dipped in views more and more and more every week. But I didn't care because I was very proud of it, and I really, really like how it turned out this year, and I really like all the episodes, and I was very proud of it. And then I finally finished the season that was supposed to be done in June. Roll and Chomp Dino, that's my bathroom floor. I don't know why I decided to shoot it there. Love this episode. Revni Grillante. Love Revni Grillante. Then we get into the Rolling Bowling trilogy, which we'll get back to that. We'll talk about Windshield of the Beholder first. This is a parody of an actual Headlight Zone episode, and if you haven't seen Windshield of the Beholder, go watch it. It has, I think, the funniest twist I've ever done. I think it's one of the funniest things. Yeah. This is a parody of an actual Twilight Zone episode called Eyes of the Beholder. We'll get back to that because there's another episode I based off of a real episode. I did this Have You Heard Of literally on a whim. One morning I was like, I want to do a new Have You Heard Of. By that night, I'd posted this episode. I think it has some of the best editing I've ever done. I edited things differently where I was on a white background instead of a black background. I prefer doing a black background. I know it makes all the images very clearly look like images with white borders and stuff, but I just prefer that over how I edited this. No, Rashid, that's the wrong video. But I do like this, and I like this. I think it's one of the best videos, and I want Have You Heard Of and the Story Of to be edited more highly and just sort of be like little mini deep dive video essays. I love watching videos like that, and I want to make more videos like that. It's just difficult to do things when so many of these topics are talked about in the iceberg videos, and I fully cover them in the iceberg videos. It's kind of difficult to have the motivation to do a full video when so many topics are similar to what I talk about on the iceberg. Which is why there haven't been many Story Ofs or Have You Heard Ofs this year. But, that night, while I was editing this video, I saw a listing for Mater's Rolling Bowling on eBay, and it was only like $47 with $10 shipping compared to the rest of the, compared to the rest of the... I just lost my train of thought again. All right, compared to the rest of the listings, which were all like $100. So I was very proud to own it and get it and review it, and I really enjoyed it. It has the same amount of views as the Have You Heard Of? It's funny. Every single lemon I really like. It was a compilation of past episodes, and I could definitely do more like that in the future, combining older episodes. Got some new 2-packs there. Then we have the Safe Driver Society. You can see at this point, views really dipped for Headlight Zone, which is what I'd expected. That's how it always was for years. But I was still very proud to see that it did quite well, at least when it first started. Safe Driver Society is another parody of a real Twilight Zone episode, loosely based off of one called The Obsolete Man. This is a very random review of Power Turner's Max Schnell, an item that was accidentally sent to my house once. That's fun. Then did another Final 50, shout out the pumpkin in the background. Then we did Errors and Inconsistencies 19, which is still the most recent one because I'm still working on part 20. And it was at this point I started to kind of overwork myself. I spent a really long time working to get this video out in time for Halloween. I was doing some personal stuff, trying to get some stuff just in my real life done by Halloween. I think I had midterms the next week, and my high school didn't do midterms, so I'd never done midterms before. I was kind of stressed. So I took a week off after posting the finale to Headlight Zone. Sterling Gets Fired. This custom review did surprisingly well. Look, these are in stores now. Cool. Every single Lizzie somehow got a copyright claim for the royalty-free music I used. Thank you, YouTube. Very cool. You can see the Final 50 becoming a bit more frequent. Now we're fully into November. This was the haul where I opened up the, maybe I do need a visit with the Care Hound. I'm doing all right now, but that week I was quite stressed out. Finale of what? Oh, of Headlight Zone? I love that episode. If that's what you're referring to. I love that one. I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to give it away. Yeah, now we're at the end of November, and, yeah, we're making it through the year. Then we get to, December. Shout out to, yeah, it took me way too long to get Speed Demon. Glad I found her, though. I loved this thumbnail. It was very cold out when I took it. And then we're into December. Look, that's this month. Wow, cool, check it out. Where, of course, it is mostly It is mostly just 25 days. I loved this year's 25 days suggestions. Then I did a few Cars Adventures holiday shorts. I wanted to do 5. I was only able to put out 3, but I'll probably do another one that's New Year's themed. I think I might keep holiday shorts as a series I openly add to for other holidays. Instead of doing a full Valentine's Day episode, maybe I'll do a holiday short. It'll depend on the holiday. Like if I'm in the middle of a big plot line in Cars Adventures, and then all of a sudden, if it's Valentine's Day and I'm halfway through a big story arc in Cars Adventures, I could release a Cars Adventures holiday short about Valentine's Day or Easter or whatever other holiday, and that won't disrupt the ongoing plot line of Cars Adventures. So yeah, and for those of you wondering when in the Cars Adventures timeline these take place, they take place when they were made. This takes place between Lap 2 and Lap 3. Basically, the order they are in the big grand Cars Adventures series playlist is when they take place. Christmas Crush, I love Christmas Crush. I loved all 3 of these. And yeah, we just have more and more of these. We have Reindeer Dance, which was also fun. I've got some more reviews of regular items sprinkled within 25 days. And then, of course, we get to the last Weird Products of the year. Celebrated having a really fun year with Weird Products. I think this is the longest episode that's almost 20 minutes long. And then we get to now. I need to retitle this video. Not many people are watching it. And I think the title is kind of confusing. But, yeah, people are joking that this is actually secretly Tractor Shorts. Maybe it is. For goals for 2023, I have a lot I want to do. But it's mainly just continue doing what I'm doing. I'm really proud of where my channel is now and how everything is going. And I don't know, I think I'm on a good path currently. And I think everything's going well with my uploads. You're not going to see any big changes in 2023. Cars Adventures will be back, but my channel isn't my channel without Cars Adventures. And man, I'm so excited for Lap 3 Season 1. I have some really, really fun ideas for that season. So yeah, but before then there will be, I guess, a new holiday short and probably a prologue episode explaining what happened between Lap 2 and Lap 3. Sarge Films 2 is something that I wanted to do also this year. There are a lot of things. My main priorities for the next month, I have a month off of school. I don't have to go back until like January 22nd. My main priority is get the new shelf done and fully finish reorganizing all my items. But throughout January, my goal is, just do the Christmas haul and get back into doing Cars Adventures. Again, Cars Adventures will return every other day instead of every day. So, yeah, that's honestly kind of it. It's going to be that. It's going to be a lot more of the regular content, regularly scheduled stuff like Weird Products, errors and inconsistencies, every single car, all the stuff you know and love from this year. And in early February, I will be dropping the 3rd iceberg, which is going to be probably the final one, and also it's going to be absolutely a gargantuan video. It will be the longest video on my channel by far, significantly longer than the 1st and 2nd iceberg. There is going to be a lot going on there, so I'm going to be spending a lot of my break this month working on that, because my goal is to get it out on the 1-year anniversary of the original iceberg. So, gonna be a lot going on at the beginning of the year. And it's going to be pretty easy for me to work on other things because I'll mainly just be doing the Christmas haul and Cars Adventures. So I could work on other stuff. But there you have it, everyone. That is just a look back on the on my channel this year. Again, a video should probably be coming out tomorrow or maybe the day after. Some of my thoughts on the Cars diecast line this year. Then I'll be doing a top 10 for 2022 as soon as I get Greebles. So, there you have it. Now that we've gone over everything, I think it's about time to wrap it all up. And it's also been almost exactly an hour. Look at that. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this stream. Thank you for joining me here. Again, sorry if it was a bit more professional than my usual streams, which are typically a lot more casual. But I wanted to do this just to sort of just sort of talk about what I did this year, because again, this was supposed to be a video, but I thought doing it as a live stream would be easier. So thank you to everyone for making this a really great year on my channel, and yeah, that's it. It wasn't really more professional. Well, I knew what I was gonna say going in compared to my other live streams. I think we went on off topic a lot less, but thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye now. And watch my new video on the tree. Watch it. I think it was funny.